Hi, my name is Erin Jarvis, and this is my leadership presentation. I'm actually in New Orleans right now. I have had a heck of a time trying to get this video up and going for you guys, so hopefully fifth time's a charm. I'm 34 years old, and a little bit kind of about myself when it comes to how I'm here today and in this leadership course. I used to be a trainer, or I worked for PSP, which is personal support programs for the Canadian military. So I was in charge of all of the fitness training and testing for the Canadian and British military at CFB Suffield. It was tough. It was really tough. I was the only female in my building, driving out there in the morning. If I didn't get there before most of the Canadian soldiers, it was floor hockey. So they didn't really listen to me, or I wasn't seen as a leader at all in their eyes, when that's exactly what I was, and really their fate when it comes to remedial PT or how they carry on in some of their work was up to me. But most of these guys were on the retirement train, getting to that position, and so they just didn't care. So it was floor hockey, and what I said didn't really matter, and it was really tough and discouraging. So I kind of left that industry altogether, went to school for environmental science. From there, had a long list of, I say awful jobs, but they just weren't for me. It wasn't what worked well for me. When I landed a position with the Alberta Winter Games as a games manager, which transitioned into the role I'm in now, where I'm a fitness leader with the City of Medicine Hat. So it kind of came full circle. It took a really long time for me to get there, but that's how I'm here today. So I'm taking this program through work, which is amazing, and kind of right where I feel like I need to be. If you would have asked me a few years ago, or even before this course, so 6 months ago, what your leadership philosophy was, I probably would have said lead by example. I've coached many years. I have always taken that role with the utmost respect, or what's the word I'm looking for? I'm very proud of my role as a coach, and so I take it very seriously. But as for a leadership philosophy, I've never sat down and been like, so what is my idea of leadership? Just off the top of my head, lead by example would be what popped in. Going through this course and the material that we did through this course kind of opened my eyes to what may be wrong with just leading by example, or where I might have gone wrong in some of the examples that I have shown either the children that I've coached or co-workers. So, for example, I'm in a little bit of a leadership role when it comes to my co-workers, and leading by example doesn't always work if I don't see them daily, or my example of a good job might not necessarily be what they think a good job is. So I could have led them astray there. The communication that was happening between me and some of my other coworkers may have kind of slipped through the cracks, because I thought what I was doing was such a good job. Why wasn't everyone doing it this way? Or how come there were some flaws or cracks in our team dynamic? So there were a couple times through this course when we would do some readings and I'd be like, oh, hey, that makes sense. So servant leadership not only works well in our industry when we're working with clients, but also when we're working with our other team members. So having their best interest in mind, but also taking that, not higher ground, but that leadership, I don't know what's going on behind me, leadership role in serving others for your own good and theirs as well. I have a phenomenal boss, and he kind of gives an inch and some of our team members take a mile. And so I've seen where that kind of leadership has its flaws, where I kind of see myself at times as a benevolent dictator, where sure, I think that we should all be fair and everyone should work for any kind of perks that are coming their way. But when it comes to the rules are the rules, and we have a certain way of doing things at work, and other jobs do the same thing. So I do think that there is a time and a place for everyone getting what they deserve, as well as everyone following the rules or working together to make sure those rules are followed. So hopefully I'm not talking in too much of a circle here, but the lead by example just simply doesn't cut it sometimes, and I have to kind of look at what example I'm giving, because if it's not the best example for another team member to learn, or they just don't see it my way by my example, it might not necessarily mean it's working or it's the right way to do things. So I guess that's kind of where I've learned a little bit to change the examples when it comes to fitting my team or fitting the situation I'm in, whether it's a work situation, a coaching situation, or a situation that might be with a client or our patrons, that makes them want to understand what I have to say or listen to what I have to say. And I think by kind of evolving this lead by example philosophy I've had, I feel like it fits into all of these styles really nicely, and I would consider that a leadership that I would like to follow, as well as hope that others feel that they can trust me in when I'm changing from one style to another, just to fit in where it needs to. So I hope that how I've evolved this lead by example works, and everyone can feel like I am truly a good leader moving forward. I hope that what I said makes sense. Sometimes I can ramble and talk too much, and I hope I can get this uploaded for you guys to review in time. Thanks for listening.